The WNBA was already heating up this season, but no one expected the chaos that unfolded during the Fever vs. Sun showdown to escalate into a full-blown credibility crisis. A game that was supposed to be about skill, strategy, and star power quickly devolved into a spectacle of inconsistency, chaos, and controversy. And right at the center of it all, Marina Mabrey, the player who turned a high-stakes game into a national debate on what counts as fair play, accountability, and league integrity. It started with a shove. Not just any shove. A full-force, blindside hit that sent Caitlin Clark flying. She wasn't even facing Mabrey. She was just playing the game, unaware that a collision course had already been charted behind her. The crowd gasped. The commentators were stunned. And yet, as the dust settled and everyone waited for the whistle to deliver justice, it didn't come. No flagrant 2. No ejection. Just a technical foul, as if what had just happened was a minor offense. The disbelief was palpable. That moment alone would have dominated headlines. But the story spiraled further when Sophie Cunningham was ejected moments later for a hard foul that didn't come close to Mabrey's. The double standard was glaring. Fans erupted on social media, pointing out how Clark had just been on the receiving end of what many called a cheap shot, yet the aggressor stayed in the game. Meanwhile, Sophie walked off the court, stunned and penalized for what looked like a routine physical play. The outrage wasn't just about favoritism, it was about integrity. How can the league claim to be about fairness when the enforcement of its own rules varies so wildly from player to player? The reaction was swift. Clips of the incident flooded Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Analysts dissected every frame. Former players chimed in. Even neutral commentators found themselves outraged by the lack of immediate action. It wasn't just about Clark, it was about what the foul represented. An intentional, unnecessary act of aggression met with institutional indifference. How could referees, standing just feet away, miss the gravity of that moment? The answer came later, but not from the refs. The WNBA, in a silent admission of its own failure, quietly upgraded Mabrey's technical to a flagrant 2 after the game had long ended. No press release. No grand statement. Just a buried update. As if that would make it right. But it didn't. Because by then, the damage had already been done. Fans, players, and media personalities were left asking one burning question. Why wasn't it handled in real time? Referee Ashley Gloss had her explanation. She said the contact didn't meet the threshold for a flagrant 2. But when the league overruled her crew the very next day, it cast doubt on more than just one call. It shattered confidence in the entire officiating process. How does a shove go from barely worth a whistle to ejection-worthy violence in less than 24 hours? Either the referees are completely missing the mark, or the league is playing catch-up in response to public outrage. Either way, it's a crisis of credibility. Caitlin Clark, the rising star at the center of it all, was dealt another blow when she herself was flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. Her crime? Reacting to being poked in the eye. Meanwhile, Mabrey's blindside hit was initially brushed aside. The inconsistencies became impossible to ignore. If Clark gets hit in the face and reacts, she's penalized. If she's bulldozed from behind, her assailant gets a slap on the wrist, at least until Twitter demands more. Then there was Mabrey's reaction. Not an apology. Not a reflection. Instead, she doubled down. She took to TikTok and cracked, "Every time they comment, I make dollars." A bold, unapologetic response that turned controversy into clout. For some fans, it was branding genius. For others, it was a slap in the face to the league, the fans, and Caitlin Clark. No remorse, no accountability, just dollar signs and views. This wasn't the first time Marina Mabrey has drawn heat. Her reputation across the league precedes her. Aggressive defense, physical play, and a relentless attitude have made her a polarizing figure. Some see her as a competitor. Others call her reckless. Either way, her name now carries more than just stats, it carries baggage. But the bigger issue isn't one player. It's the system. The WNBA's officiating structure has been exposed as reactive rather than proactive. Instead of enforcing rules on the floor, they're adjusting them after the fact. Instead of protecting players in real time, they're playing PR cleanup after viral clips explode. And that's not a sustainable strategy. What message does that send to the players? That it's okay to push boundaries until someone complains? That punishments only matter if the internet demands them? What kind of environment does that foster? Especially for rising stars like Caitlin Clark, who now finds herself both a target on the court and a scapegoat off of it. Sophie Cunningham's ejection, Mabrey's late penalty, and Clark's questionable technical all point to one undeniable truth: the officiating is broken. Not flawed. Not inconsistent. Broken. A hard foul should be a hard foul, no matter who's delivering it. A flagrant should be a flagrant, whether it's a rookie or a veteran. The moment that changes, the league starts to lose its integrity. Fans aren't asking for perfection. They're asking for consistency. For a league that holds players accountable equally. For referees who don't buckle under pressure. For a system that doesn't need hashtags to function. Until then, every missed call, every delayed penalty, every inconsistent decision chips away at the credibility the WNBA is working so hard to build. Caitlin Clark deserves protection. Sophie Cunningham deserves fairness. And Marina Mabrey. She deserves whatever the rules say, no more, no less. But the rules must be enforced in real time, not in hindsight. Because if the league can't get that right, it won't just be a player's reputation on the line, it'll be the league's legacy. Let us know what you think. Did the WNBA handle this right? Was Mabrey's punishment fair? Should referees face consequences for missed calls? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives like this.